Hi all, it's Monday, so it's time for our good news roundup. Let's take a second away from doom scrolling and focus on the great things that did happen last week. There were a lot of them. The state of Texas announced that it's suing Shell Oil for damaging the environment. A federal judge struck down portions of Texas's SB 1, a voter suppression law. Taylor Swift and her fans are putting a huge dent in American hunger. American companies have invested upwards of $100 billion in the solar industry this year. There are 51 factories in the works or currently expanding. Cornell University announced that it would not renew its contract with Starbucks because of union busting. The Biden administration announced more than $667 million in new grants and loans to expand rural broadband. Trump lost in court again. Nebraska is officially on its way to a pro-choice ballot amendment in 2024. A new pack of endangered gray wolves were found in California's Sequoia National Forest. The Department of Justice has designated Officer Jeffrey Smith's suicide after the January 6th attacks as a death in the line of duty, meaning his wife is eligible for a new federal benefits program. After a massive outcry and a lawsuit, a Florida school board has lifted the ban on a book about two male penguins who raised a child together. Ecuador voted overwhelmingly to halt oil drilling in the Amazon. The Department of the Interior announced that it had reinstated Obama-era rules to prevent offshore drilling catastrophes. Finally, someone is charged for voter fraud, and it's a Trump supporter who voted for him twice in 2020. Lauren Boebert's opponent is crushing her in fundraising and narrowly beating her in the polls. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz just named Natalie Hudson to be the new Chief Justice of the state Supreme Court. Hudson will be the first person of color to ever lead Minnesota's highest court. Greenhouse gas emissions in the European Union fell by almost 3% in the first quarter of 2023. The U.S. Department of the Interior approved a fourth offshore wind project, this one off of Rhode Island. The Biden-Harris administration announced they are designating an almost 6,000 square mile area off the coast of Central California as the Chumash Heritage National Marine Sanctuary. After fighting similar bills for years, Apple has finally extended its support for a right to repair bill in California. Leonard Leo is getting investigated. Steel is getting cleaner. The Spanish Soccer Federation chief has been suspended after kissing a player without her permission. In Brazil, if you use a homophobic slur, you can now go to prison. In a decision that's such a big deal it deserves its own TikTok, the National Labor Relations Board just made union busting a lot harder. Google it. And finally, John Eastman's State Bar of California profile has been updated with a caution that says this attorney has been charged with a felony. There is so much more good news in the newsletter. Make sure you check out the link in my bio, and please spread the news about all the good stuff that's happening. After all, it's hard to keep going if we don't stop and celebrate our wins.